So welcome everybody to another episode of the J2 Hub podcast. Now, we've been very consistent with recording, and we're going to get very consistent with posting as well because we've got a lot of stuff in the bank to come out. But today, we've got a bit of an impromptu podcast that we're recording with my sidekick B, who's here, like he was last time, and we're joined by our content creator Tamer, who seems to be the third person or the third wheel to. Well, no, I can't say third wheel because our car would collapse. So we've got a tricycle. But anyway, Tam records all our content for us. We spend most of our Thursdays with him. So today we've got a bit of an episode where we're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about the importance of creating content. We're also going to talk about brokerages and how hard it is for new brokers getting into this business. And generally just some kind of shit that annoys us about real estate in Dubai. So Tam, first of all, thank you so much for joining us.
No worries.
Thank you.
Good stuff. So look, let's just kick off straight away and ask that age-old question to a content creator. How important is content today as a real estate agent in Dubai?
Well, today it is probably the most important thing.
Okay.
The number one. If you don't have it, you've got nothing. You're basically just non-existent.
Sure.
Especially in about a year, 2 years, everything's going to be totally digitalized. Once the government itself, they are already digitalizing everything with the permits, with the QR codes, having everything online. It's only a matter of time until the realtor himself becomes digitalized and he can only function online. The biggest example I always give is Wall Street in the 80s. When you have got stockbrokers, if you wanted to buy a stock, you needed to properly call a guy sitting in an office and buy the stock, or he would call you, try to sell you the stock, and then he would get a commission, similar to today's.
That's a really good comparable, man.
Right?
I like that.
And then what happened was the .com era, internet was invented, and then these guys went over onto the brokerages themselves, went online, and started selling the stock online, so you could go now on the internet and sell the stock, and the only guys who were able to adapt to this were the guys who were able to join those platforms, join that internet era, and either build their own stock brokerage or have some sort of presence online on the internet to be able to be found. Everybody else closed. Now if you go to Wall Street, there is no stock brokerage. There is no guy who's out there calling anymore. So now you've got the same thing happening in Dubai. Right? You've got those people calling, and now you've got the social media era, not the .com era. So that's the new era, our generation's era. And if you're not on there, same thing as like in Wall Street. History repeats itself.
Yeah, the same thing we were discussing. Before you had to have a website. Now if you don't have a social media page, no one can reach out to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the new currency now is eyeballs on you, and it's such a powerful currency that I think I heard Gary Vee talking about it, where he said, if you haven't got eyeballs on you, you're fighting a losing battle here. And he was saying something like you should spend most of your time creating content over every single thing else. And I think B's a very good example of this because he used to be one of those guys like, I don't make social media content. But now...
No, I don't make it. I wasn't feeling comfortable.
Okay, he wasn't feeling comfortable.
I didn't have a good content creator.
Yeah. But recently he got a kick up his ass and now he's just bang on the content and he's really comfortable with it and it's relating well. And we're doing this new 𝗙़ English content as well. So, he's a prime example who was uncomfortable with it, who's now extremely comfortable with it and realize it, it's a currency that we need. Tam, on the flip side, how... do you think gimmicky content still works? Because there's a lot of brokers out there that just do, let's say, for example, like gimmicky content where it's just like, okay, apps that you need in Dubai. And everybody's doing the same content or, 3 things that you need to do as a broker and all of this. What's the importance of gimmicky content versus actual content that gives you real advice?
Okay, so look, there's a difference between video concepts, so the app's idea, right? For instance, that the issue with it is that most people doing it are gimmicky people. The issue is not with the idea, because it doesn't matter what the idea is or what the concept is, because the concept is the same for everything. You can have a Lamborghini and you can have an idiot behind the wheel. You can't say Lamborghini is shit, right?
Yeah. True.
So it's very important to who the person making the content is. You can't have somebody who's unexperienced, who doesn't know anything. Social media is a weapon, it's not a stage. right? It's a multiplier, not a setting.
Wow.
Right?
Nice
That's
quote.
another saying I like.
So
I'm going to social media you. I'm not going to stab you. I'm going to social media you.
yeah, so social media basically it guarantees your it guarantees your longevity, right? So your career now is going to stay for a very long time if you've got a good social media platform.
True.
And it's very important to be authentic, to be you, to actually deliver value. It's called personal branding. There's a reason personal is there. It's not called trying to go viral, period, right? Because I went viral. I have 1 million followers on TikTok. They're useless because they were the wrong audience. They were the wrong way. So I had to go through that route to learn that no matter, you don't need to have 1 million followers. You don't need to have 10 million followers. I've got a page with 900 followers and I'm closing deals. And I had another page with 1.3 million followers and I couldn't even sell $50 merch.
You know what? It's so good you say that, and I love you say that, because people that got 1 million followers, and this is it, people like, oh, I haven't got enough followers, and I always say, look, followers are a vanity metric.
Yeah.
You know, you're just looking at that and it's just making your ego bigger, or it's making your head grow when you see, oh, I've got 2 million followers, I've got this many followers. I did a post recently where I posted saying I've got 11,000 followers, but a lot of those followers are engaged. And I actually had someone who's a master at sales called Dr. 𝗚𝗃𝗀𝗲𝗏, so big yourself up if you listen to this. He's a LinkedIn sales guy, yeah? And he kind of sent me a message and he goes, James, he goes, I love this. He goes, I've got clients that can't sell products worth 997, and here you are selling £300,000 apartments through an Instagram post.
Yep.
So I think it just goes to show that don't get caught up with the number of followers you got, because we all know people that have got 200,000 followers or 300,000 followers, and they've got absolute bullshit reach, and their sales are crap, you know, and it's just a vanity metric where they're thinking, oh, I gained another 10,000 followers. So what? Did those 10,000 followers put any money in your pocket?
Yeah.
It's how much money you're making from your audience that you've got, or how many of them are transacting with you over that whole, I've got 1 million followers crap.
No, the biggest example I give in any meeting is I always say, you've got an Apple phone. Are you following Apple?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Are you following Apple?
On Instagram?
Yeah.
No.
There you go. So you're a consumer of Apple, but you're not following Apple. So you don't need to follow them to be able to buy from them. Most buyers are not followers of whoever they're buying from.
Damn, man, did you have like 10 cups of coffee this morning? 'Cause you're delivering some real gems today, Tam. What's going on?
I've been expanding my company.
Man, you're like, this guy's on fire.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we don't
But
consume
it's-
Apple content. And that's a really good point. If you look at people like, you've probably heard this before, if you look at content created by Red Bull, you don't see them advertising a drink. It's the whole experience, right?
Yeah,
McDonald's,
true.
you don't see food.
No.
It's the whole experience. So I think
You have to
guys
tie
that-
an emotion to the consumer. You have to tie an emotion. Once an emotion is tied, whether it be anger, love, whatever emotion it is, it's from there on out, he's yours, right? Or she's yours. The thing many people are not prepared to do is, and that's the fact of the matter, hate turned into love is easier than just love gained. It's easier to get somebody to hate you and then love you than somebody to straight up come and love you. So that's why many people have to go through the hate process if they want to actually succeed on social media. Because they have to go through that hate, and then those people then said, okay, I like to call it the Andrew Tate method. You go out there and you say some wide ass, just like crazy shit. Don't explain yourself. Just say stuff. Once eyeballs are on you, then explain yourself.
Yeah. Your father's a goat. Or
Exactly.
your mum's a sheep.
Yeah. You know, if you go outside and you say to somebody, hey, I love you, they'll be like, okay, and then they
Who's
walk
this
away.
weirdo?
Yeah, and they walk away. But if you say, bro, I fucking hate these shoes, he's gonna stand there and he's gonna try to debate with you.
Yeah.
But then you can actually engage with him, and by the end of the conversation, you can exchange numbers.
Yeah.
All right.
If you said that to someone in the UK, they'll punch you in your face.
Yeah, but
Here
I
you're
still
safe.
got a reaction.
Well,
Yes.
don't use it as a pickup line.
Yeah.
Don't use it as a pickup line because they might gonna slap you in the face.
Anything that's great, anything basically that's anything other than makes sense. Because if it makes sense, it's just gonna pass by. Right? So you have to be illogical in the beginning to be logical later on.
Yeah, no, some good stuff there. So, Tam, look, where do you think, or even B, where do you think over the next 2 years this whole social media is going? Where do we think it's going to go for brokers that are really concentrating on it now, and the guys that are not?
Yeah, man. It's
What do you think?
yeah.
Here you go.
So in 2 years, my prediction is, and that's actually bad for my own company, but it is what it is. Eventually, the ones who are on there, and the ones who are not, and the tables have been set. Judgment day has come. Khalas. That's it. End of story. Because then it will be too expensive and too time consuming for anybody to jump in. If you're seeing the prices that it now costs for people to come with agencies like myself and others larger than me, let alone in 2 years when everybody's on it.
Yeah.
And the more you wait, the longer it actually takes to be able to build. So eventually, the time difference, or like the investment you'd need to put in and the time you would need to put in, wouldn't make sense anymore. Your ROI wouldn't be there. Right now, the ROI is still there with the cost that you're putting in, but eventually it won't.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I don't get? Some people are just so silly. It's like, right now, it's free. Social media is free.
Yeah.
You got like YouTube. You can have your very own TV channel.
Yeah.
You know, back in the days, in the 80s and 90s, you would have put an advert on TV and paid thousands and thousands of pounds for it. Right now, you can have a free TV channel. What we're doing right now, recording a podcast, we've got our own radio channel, and it's flipping free, and people can tune in. And podcasts rank really, really well in certain subjects. You can get yourself ranked really quickly. And you know, things like Instagram, you're putting a visual showcase. It's like your catalog. So I don't understand why people don't do it. They're like, oh, you're still doing that social media thing. You know, at first, they question you, they laugh at you. Then when you become good at it, they're going to start asking you, oh, how did you do that? Can you help me do that as well?
You know when the real ROI comes in? The real ROI, and I've seen it just from my own page, right? From my own, and I did comedy. I was not selling anything. But what I found happen is when the audience grows with you, so when they come, let's say, we're talking about 5 years from now, the guys who are watching you at 23, hustling, trying to make money, right? And then watching you on the side talk about real estate. 5 years from now, they're 28, they have a bunch of money, and now they're ready to spend.
Yeah.
The amount of people are just going to run over to you. And it comes like this, like literally over a night, you have like 15, 20 people per day coming in. And I've seen it with my comedy page. I've had it for 4 years. People who are 15 are now 19. I went to an event and all of them recognize, even though I haven't been posting at all on that page for a long time. All of them. We used to watch your content since I was 15, 14, 13. Let's connect. And they became good connections. Some of them are now my friends because they have very good connections because they worked hard after being inspired by my content and then made a bunch of connections, ran into other industries, and now I have connections to those industries because of my content 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, I was spending money on cameras, I once spent money traveling from the Netherlands all the way to Paris, staying in a hotel for a night. Took a friend with me just to film one video that took us 15 minutes that ended up getting 2.5 million views.
Wow, that's dedication, man.
One video. So all of that, zero ROI. I was just scrapping to make some money and then spending it back.
But look, it's your resume now. You don't need to make a CV and send it out to people.
Oh, yeah.
Just put your name, your LinkedIn page, your Instagram page. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It shows what you did.
Yeah.
You know what's really weird? Sometimes I speak to clients, it's the first time I'm speaking to them, and the first thing they say very early on in the conversation is, James, I feel like I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
Or like when my mum passed away, I had a post on Instagram and people were paying me condolences, like when they spoke to me on the phone, and I'm like, how do you know this about me? And they're like, oh, how's your son getting on with his new football training? And you're thinking, this is fucking spooky, man.
Yeah.
But then you realize you put it out there and people make an emotional connection to you, and they like to see that stuff. You know, last night I posted something about being in a hospital, and the whole process from start to finish. I've got messages coming in, James, you okay? Is there something wrong with you? And I made it quite clear on there that saying, hey, there's nothing wrong with Uncle James, he's still here, doing really, really well.
That's why I didn't message you.
Yeah. But it's also like this kind of connection, they feel you. And I say it time and time again. There's two sayings I say: know, like, and trust. Okay? Someone knows you, then they're going to like you. And once they like you and know you're not a dick, they're going to trust you and they're going to buy from you.
Yeah.
That's my 3-peg formula. And the other one that my very good friend Charlie, Mr. Muscles, talks about and says all the time is, James, the best known will beat the best. So you don't have to be the fucking best in this game. You got to be the best known. And if you combine that with know, like, and trust, and best known, you got a fucking winning formula, man.
No, the best known one is very true, and it's not even for today's age. Like, you really think that Messi or Ronaldo are the best football players in the world?
No.
They're the best.
No, they're just the best known. They were in positions to be known, to be seen. That's
Because
the only reason.
at the time when Pele was playing, there was no Instagram, there was no social media, but he was better than them.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny is that when I was in my football career, the reason I started social media was to help out my football career, and it ended up helping it very, very, very much. I ended up getting a lot of connections into football, but then I stopped football and then became my main business. So it was still a win-win in both situations. When I started, I was like, look, worst case scenario, I'll still make money from it and cry in my Ferrari. So I'll either cry in my Ferrari as a football player or cry in my Ferrari as a social media guy. In both cases, I still have a Ferrari.
Yeah, it's fine. And look, I think social media is very important for real estate. Look, AI is changing everything. The only thing which will not change is the real estate, because people is buying based on for the experience.
Yeah.
They want to know you. They want to come with you to the viewing. They want to come with you to the developer office, and they want you to be there to help them to sign.
Yeah.
Even though maybe you're not doing anything special, okay? But it's the experience they want. It's you they want by their side. So I agree with you. Within 2 years, if anyone is there, they're there.
Yeah.
If they're not in the social media, they cannot start.
Yeah.
It's too late.
It's too saturated. You cannot have that many personalities.
It's difficult now because you see it, like,
Even now
rise
it's
of following,
Yeah.
engagement. Like, you said it on the podcast the other time. What the fuck does the algorithm want? What does it want? You know? It's like, it can be very, very frustrating. It can be very demoralizing when you're producing content week in, week out, week in, week out, week in, week out, and you're not getting the result you want. But then all of a sudden, someone says, hey, James, I saw your content on Instagram. I really like that apartment. Can you send me some information over? You send them the information. They absorb the information. You jump on a Zoom call with them for 20 minutes. Then they're still umming and ahhing. And then a day later, they say, James, I really like that unit. Then can we book it? Let's get it locked in. And you're like, if I had given up that Thursday morning when I got to meet Tam and B at 8 o'clock in the morning, because we've moved it to 8 o'clock in the morning to shoot content. And I know you lazy real estate guys that are not shooting content at 8 o'clock in the morning. How would it have been if we just thought that week, you know what, fuck it, we're not recording any content this week. You would have missed that sale. You know, a potential of 100,000 dirhams in your pocket as commission would have gone because you weren't consistent in doing what you said you were going to do. So, man, this topic really excites me. I love it. And one of the things I said to B when we started this brokerage was, I said, B, you handle the bank account? You see how much money comes in? I don't even want to know. I don't care. Because I know as soon, I'm trying to get a few little tasks off my plate at the moment by employing some virtual assistants to take care of shit. Because I know as soon as I've got all these low value tasks off my system, I'm concentrating on two things: sales and content. That's it. I don't want to do anything else. Oh, obviously my family, and then trying to get to the gym. But.
No, I love that because that's the exact same position that I'm in right now. I'm now expanding. I was just talking to you in the back. I'm now in a position where I'm expanding really, really fast. Yeah, I got 4 clients in 4 days, and that's just the beginning of expanding.
Hey, you ready to sign for a deal? let's pin him down after him signing me to an apartment.
But yeah, like now I'm expanding. I'm hiring people to do all these like little tasks that are like not worth it anymore. You know, I was always stuck in this. Oh, it's a $10 job, but I would save $10. But that's not a scaling mindset. I need to let go of those $10 an hour to go out and make that $100 an hour or $1,000 an hour. Yeah. And the reason I think in the beginning I was up and down is because what if when I go out and I delegate this, I fail, I don't get the client, then I just paid money without gaining anything. Right?
There's no guarantee, man, but you have to do it. If you don't risk it, you cannot.
Look, there's 2 things I'm going to say to that. Number 1, you need to work out what your hourly rate is. Yeah. Now, if your hourly rate is 1,000 dirhams an hour, why the fuck are you doing a task that you can sub to someone for 10 dirhams an hour or 20 dirhams an hour?
But how can you guarantee that hour is going to actually be taken of your time, right?
Now I'm going to put the second thing on it. When you're on your deathbed dying, the last thing you're not gonna ask for money, are you? No. What are you gonna ask for? God, give me some more time with my loved ones. Yeah. Right now, you have the option to pay for fucking time, man. Yeah. Imagine you give out 30 hours every single week to somebody to gain 30 hours a week. Yeah, that's 120 hours a month. When you equate that over your lifetime, that's years. if you're on your deathbed dying and your kids are looking at you, your wife's there probably like, yeah, he's dead. Life insurance. But anyway, you're there on your deathbed, you're sitting there, you're not going to say to somebody, oh man, you know what, I need some money. You're going to say, God, please give me some time.
Yeah.
Give me an extra hour. And the ironic thing is you have the ability of creating time right now for yourself, you know? And this is what, again, coming back to what my good friend Charlie does, he says, I will outsource everything. He's trying to outsource everything in his life, you know? I think if the guy could outsource taking his girlfriend on a date, he'd probably outsource that as well. And he does it really, really well. And he's buying all this time to concentrate on high impact tasks.
Yeah.
And he said this to me the other day. He goes, James, once you have all of this off your table, you should just be concentrating on 1 or 2 very high value tasks in a day and going all in.
Yeah. All I want to focus on is, like you just said, is sales and content. That's all I want to do. Now I'm doing it much more. Now I'm just like going over to meetings and then closing deals, and that's it. All those new accounts are being handled by like, you know, even filming, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
I have now a right hand guy, he's doing that. I've got a VA, I've got an admin, we've got a CRM, Excel sheets, everything is now being taken care of. All I do is get the lead, talk to the lead, close the client, next, again,
Exactly.
and then make
Because that's where your skill set is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
In the beginning, my skill set was also the filming. The filming part is very, very important, right? But then I thankfully, I found somebody who's as good as me. And I got him in.
This is the thing. People always say, will this person be as good as me? And sometimes when you take a chance on someone, you realize, you think, shit, man, this guy's actually better than me.
Yeah.
Or
sometimes you
it's
learn
up to
from them.
you to put a playbook together, create a playbook for the clone of you. So now, if you hire someone and they're not shit, that means you're training with shit.
Yeah.
So if you hired a videographer tomorrow, or we hire a real estate broker, we're not going to hire someone new. But if we did hire someone new, and after 3 months they're not good, that means that we are shit in training this person. Simple as. It's not that person shit. Our training's been shit.
Yeah. Now I was even showing him inside. I told him I've got. So this scaling period is like a month or 2 months of insanity, right? Because then you're talking to your existing clients. You gotta make sure everybody's happy with the service, and then you're talking to the future clients. Because now you're expanding, and now you're talking to the team members or in between, because now you're expanding the team. So now you have 3 waves of issues coming along that you have to deal with. I had 25 messages yesterday, and I was replying to 25 individual chats that I was active on, right, on WhatsApp, 10 on Instagram. I had 4 meetings, I had 3 clients, and that was just maintenance. That was not future.
That's the thing with having your own business. We have a saying in Farsi. We said like 𝗟𝗶Ｈ𝗀𝗲𝗍𝗍 It means that if you have a bigger house, you have a bigger rooftop. If you have a bigger rooftop, you have much more snow, which you have to clean. Okay? That's the thing with owning the business. And some people, they don't understand. If you are a business owner, if you have 10 clients and you can handle those 10 clients, that's fine. But if you're getting 11 clients, that one, you need another one to assist him. Because you cannot forget about these 10. I'm always saying having new clients is like taking 1 bricks, put it in your backpack. So you can carry maximum 10 bricks, maximum 20 bricks. If you don't hire the VAs, if you don't hire the admins, if you don't hire the agents, videographers to help you, you're losing those 10 clients as well.
Yeah.
This is important about like managing everything. It's not easy. Look, now when you are employee, it's much easier because you just answer to 1%. You get your salary, you get your commission by end of the month, and it's done. But if you're a business owner, it's much more task to do. It's 24/7. It's not 9 to 5.
I love that analogy of the bricks in the back. It's like when you're in the gym. If you know your best rep is 100 kilos and you want to try and push further, you want to get even stronger, someone's got to assist you, right, at first. Someone's got to assist you, so I think it's the same difference. But look, I wanted to just mention this book by Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time. So I've been listening to this at the moment, very, very good book. I actually had a random message from this guy. He's got quite a lot of followers, and straight away I just said, that's not even you, man. That's your team messaging me. And he was very honest. He said, the first message was my team, second message was my team, but obviously these 3rd, 4th, 5th messages, they can't be automated. It's actually me. So he recommended this book. So I've been listening to this book, and one of the things I picked up on it this morning, which said, an entrepreneur should not be looking at their own calendar or their own inbox. it should be seen by your VA first before you do anything else. In fact, you shouldn't be looking at any emails until they've been through your VA. I thought to myself, you know what, that's really, really good, because it's how many people are governed by their inbox. You're sitting there concentrating, working, your email's open, an email comes in and you're like, fuck, I need to respond to this, I need to respond to this, I need to respond to this. And before you know it, you've lost focus on all other tasks that you're doing, and suddenly you're an email whore, you know?
Yeah.
You're just there, all email.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, that was a really, really good point. So I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to have my calendar now. My main priorities are the things that I do with my children. My family time, that's going to be my main thing that goes in. After that, I'm going to let my VA organise my calendar and let my VA go through my inbox. And I don't care what she sees in my inbox, private conversations, whatever. Because they're almost like an extension of you anyway.
Yeah.
You know, for you to succeed and be successful, you need to put your trust in somebody else.
You have to.
So B, from now on, phone my VA. I don't want to talk to you.
No, I'm actually even like implement. The reason I asked you for that WhatsApp thing was because every 3-4 weeks now, I've made it like a habit to have a getaway trip for like a weekend. So Friday, Saturday, and come back always on Sunday, and just make sure that I can shut down and then focus on myself, my wife, and then also management. So like whether it be fit in the team and stuff, just like, you know, pause everything so that we can fill back up, be back on track and see what we're gonna do. So now I'm gonna like have an automated message. So if you text me tomorrow, for example, you get an automated message saying, hey, I'm away. If it's an urgency, please call my right-hand guy, this guy. And then
But I've got your other number.
Yeah. we call
We
it.
have your other number.
And we know where he's gonna stay.
Yeah, we
We
got
call
his
the
emergency
hotel.
number, yes.
We call the hotel.
We'll track you down anyway.
But yeah, I'm like automating all of that. I'm also getting a VA, handling all of that. It's insane, bro. Like even getting those people is crazy. It's so much work.
Yeah. But you know what? I really love those reset breaks. So recently, I think I mentioned it. I mentioned it to B that I was thinking about going to Bali, which ironically enough, I was going to tell you after I booked for 28 days.
Oh,
Because
nice.
I needed a mental reset. So recently this advert came up on Instagram. And the first thing this advert said is, we do not let vegans in. And I'm like,
Yes.
Yeah, that's my
sounds good,
dream.
man.
Send me that place, please.
It's called the Bali Time Chamber, and they based it on. I don't. You're probably too old to remember Dragon Ball Z.
I know Dragon Ball Z.
So there was I never watched it because I didn't really like those anime stupid cartoons.
Yeah.
Anyway, but in Dragon Ball Z there was this place that people went to called the Chamber. So 1 hour in that chamber was like 1 year of self-development.
Okay.
So this character goes in there for like an hour and he comes out. He's like, I'm ready to have some. So I saw this advert for this place in Bali, which is in the middle of a mountain, right? And it's there's no women, there's no alcohol.
Oh, I've seen it.
You've seen the advert, yeah?
I've seen it. Yes. Jules, my sartorial shooter. You know the sartorial shooter? Andrew's best friend went there.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I know it from. I know. Yeah.
So it's just a place for men where, you know, when I told my wife and a few of my friends, it sounds a bit gay. I'm like, hey, wait, it's not a bit gay, man. But anyway, so you go there and the only thing you can do is train, eat good food, work on your business, sleep, and have recovery.
Yeah. How much is it per night there?
It's 28 nights has cost like $4,500.
That's not bad.
No. And that's food and
That's like a
everything,
rent.
right?
That's like
All
a
inclusive.
like a month.
And now look, the food, 1 kilo of quality steak every single day for your
And
3
that's
meals.
included.
It's included. All
It's not
food
there.
is included.
I'm going, bro. I
Now,
need to
you know,
go.
I said to my wife, I said, listen, I need a mental reset. In fact, most recently, I shared some of my journal entries with my wife. And I don't often share it with her because sometimes I have to talk about her in there, you know. She really pissed me off, but not like that. Anyway, I shared it with her and she said to me, James, you need a mental reset. And I thought, fuck, she agrees.
Yeah.
And then they're going away next month in July for a month back to England, my wife and my 2 boys. And I was like, I can't do this, man. I'm not going back to England. You know why? Because we're going to see the same family members. They're going to talk about the same problems, the same shit, how their life's fucked up, how they hate this, how it's all bollocks. And I don't want this fucking filtering shit going in my head. So then I suggested this place in Bali. And the minute I said to her, there's like no nightclubs, there's no like bars, there's no relaxation, there's no booze, there's no smoking cigars. She's like, you can go. I was like, what? So she probably thought this is going to be quite a painful trip, which I think it will be.
It will be a
yeah.
very mental.
And I need something like this because I'm one of those people that I think the biggest area of my life, and I know it, that needs improvement is my self-fitness and my physical appearance. And, you know, I'm very cautious of it, very, very aware of it. And I'm, ironically enough, most of my clients are in the fitness industry. And when I turn up at events, I kind of look around, I'm like, damn, man, these fucking guys look amazing. These girls look amazing. And here's me on stage going, okay, just keep that shit tucked in a bit, you know? But and a lot of these guys have offered me help, like, support, come train with us, come do this, come do that. Once I get started, I'm pretty consistent, but I knew I needed something that took me out of the environment of work, business, everything, just to have a mental reset. And I honestly believe this place will do that. And you know what the ironic thing is? It's not like you can just get in. There was a full-blown fucking application, man. It took me an hour to fill this application form, and I'm thinking, I can't even chat GPT this shit because they're going to pick up on it. So it's really personal questions. And then when they reviewed it, they said, yeah, you're the kind of candidate we need in this place. So I was like, woohoo, got it. Booked it, really, really looking forward to it, because for the last 20 years I've been focused on business, improving myself, and I've realised I've let that whole neglect of a personal reset. So I think someone like yourself, Tam, in your early 20s, who's identified this right now, compared to someone who's in his early 40s, you got 20 years on me, man. So I think now going for a mental reset is going to be fucking phenomenal.
I honestly, I really wanna go with you now. It's so good.
Bro, I wish you guys had told me early, because we could have got a luxury cabin and it would have broke up the price. But even then, I decided to myself, you know what? This is a mental reset. So I said, no business class seat.
Exactly.
You're traveling 10 hours in an economy seat. All I did was I allowed myself an extra legroom seat. Okay.
You need, bro. I said, come on, like.
And then I was talking to.
Sitting like this. I hate it.
I'm talking to my son, and he's like, "Dad, book the luxury cabin." And I'm like, no, because this is not about luxury. This is about a mental reset. So I booked the most basic cabin there is, which they recommend, ironically enough.
Oh, okay.
And then I thought, this is going back to the roots, like going real back low. No.
But it still looks good, probably.
It is fucking phenomenal, man. It's
I need the name, bro. I gotta.
The Bali Time Chamber. You guys got to check it out, man. It's phenomenal. Like, obviously, I'll be there for 28 days and I'll give you a full-on... Well, no, I can't give you a full-on review. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be shooting content and just dropping it into a Dropbox, and I want that content to go out. And I don't want to look at any of that content till I get back. So 30 days of content goes out. I want to see what kind of response it has, but I don't want to look at it. I'm not looking at social media. I'm not doing anything while I'm there. Just having a proper mental reset.
Yeah, there's that one, right.
So big up the Bali Time Chamber. Hopefully you're listening to this podcast and you can give us a 50% discount.
For us, because you already booked.
Yeah, well.
For us, yeah. I'd love.
So we can come back.
Yeah, bro, like, because that's the exact thing I need. I was actually just saying to myself yesterday, once the expansion is over, once everything's automated, I'm now working on automations. Once everybody knows what they're doing, I'm taking a month off.
Yeah.
I'm going to reset, and that's the perfect thing.
Bro, I think you should go there and write a book.
And there?
Yeah.
Yeah, do I look at... I don't think I'm old enough to...
No, come on. Social media book. It's current.
Yeah.
You should write a book. Like, go there. Your goal should be to write a book. One guy said he's been trying to write a book for 3 years. He goes, he got there within 4 days, he finished his book.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck, man? 4 days, he finished his book. What is this place? He got some magic fairy dust or something.
Oh, my God. Now I want to go. I got to automate it. I'm going to go.
Let him go first.
Let him go first.
Yeah, I might not come back.
Come back jacked up and ready. And
No, I honestly feel like a month of doing all of this, because my sleep's been fucked for years. Like, sleep is so important. So I'm really looking forward to having a mental reset on sleep, getting the food pattern right, and getting this right.
And you know, a month of just like normal in here, just consistent workout already makes a huge difference. Let alone being there.
Imagine
and actually,
no
that's
distraction.
all you're doing.
Yeah.
No distraction, good food, good exercise.
You're really gonna come out like Naruto, you know.
And you know what? The good thing is, I've heard this like all high net worth individuals there, so I'll be selling as well. I'm coming back with some sales. Now that's the only time I'm gonna pick up my phone is if somebody wants to buy something. If somebody says, James, I want to buy, I'm gonna give them a full blown presentation in Town Square every day.
Oh, they don't take your phones?
They allow you to have your phone, but I've decided I'm going to have my phone off.
Yeah.
Unless it's emergency. Obviously, I can give the venue's number. So I've said to my wife, I won't be contacting you. I'll be sending you an old school email like I used to send you love letters when we first met.
I'll send you a letter, and like the owl, like Harry Potter, an owl will come and drop it.
But listen, guys, look, I think we should do another episode when we've got some more time. But to finish it off, Tam, new brokers coming to Dubai, because there's hundreds coming every single week. What advice would you give them from the social media side? And B, what advice would you give them from the serious brokerage side?
All right. From my side, don't start social media if you're new. You're nobody. You're an empty book. Get some experience.
Wow,
You're gonna
man.
be a gimmicky guy.
Okay.
You're gonna be one of those gimmicky guys. So go out
True.
there. Now I have a rule. If you're not at least 1 year in the market, I'm not working with you. No matter how much you're gonna pay me, I'm not.
You serious?
Yeah, that's literally the first question I ask whenever any lead comes in. How long have you been a realtor for? Any below a year, I say we're not a good fit. You might be a good fit for the program, which is just you get a jinx of the idea of it, but you shouldn't jump on and act like something you're not. Understand the market, understand the analog ways, understand what's going on, learn, go through deals, close deals. You should not put all your life into social media, or else then you're gonna be like that.
Mm.
Yeah, and my advice is if they want to join a real estate brokerage in Dubai, start with the big firms because they have enough resources to train them. Second thing, once they did the training, understand and learn the areas. Study Dubai. I know brokers, they're working in Dubai for 2 years, 3 years. When you tell them about the location, they never ever heard about it.
Yeah.
At least know which areas Dubai has.
Mm.
It's not just Sheikh Zayed Business Bay, downtown and Marina. No. There's a Jaddaf. There is Ramul. There is, I don't know, all these
Ramul.
areas. Yeah. They never heard of it. At
Yeah.
least a broker should knows which area existed in Dubai.
Yeah, yeah.
And the second thing, one day studied the whole Dubai, then pick an area, study that area, even if it take months.
Yes.
Study the area, study the layouts, study the
Mm.
previous records, how much they bought, how much they sold, and be expert in the area. That's it.
That's really, really sound advice, man. And I think if we look back previously, all the brokers that we've come across, the ones that do really well are just solely focused in one area.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Aiden has been closing crazy through social media.
Yeah. Big up
because of it.
Aiden, our
Yeah.
guy from Liverpool.
We should invite him.
Yeah,
To the next
Yeah, you should get him on
podcast.
the pod, yeah, yeah. But I think lastly, I just want to have a shameless plug, actually. So if any broker out there is looking to join a new brokerage and you have to be experienced, you got to be a shit hot closer in your area, and your firm has really upset you, or you're just pissed off with the owner, you don't like the way they are, they don't respect you, we're looking for experienced brokers that have already got a proven track record of closing, and we're going to give you something really, really exciting if you want to come over to us. Yeah, so just reach out, drop us an email, a message,
Yep.
or whatever, either to me or B or to my virtual assistant, who we don't know what her name is just yet, but we'll do soon. But yeah, guys, look, I think we should do this
Mate.
again.
Yeah.
It's been really cool, and
Most
thank you
definitely.
once again to Alpha and Ahmed and his crew for filming another great episode and allowing us into their studio, which you guys can check them out and book. I know they've got some good introductory rates, but big up these guys here. They've done a really, really good job. And thank you so much for following the J2 Hub podcast. All we ask in return, there isn't a fee. There's no fee here. All we ask is a nice 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And yeah, just share the show. Thank you.
Thank you.